This is the Echo Network.
Presents the Royalman Report with Casey Royalman.
Every new coach of the Royals likes a guy in tights who comes right.
Michael Engel.
I'm the co-host of that show. Kind of.
Jeff Herr.
Back to baseball here.
Chris Kamler.
So Ned, tell me what you'd like to do right now. Take off my pants. You'd like to take off your pants?
Music by 49 Stones and Andre and the Giants. And now, the Royalman Report.
How's it going, everybody out there? It's another Sunday night here in Kansas City. It's the Royalman Report. We're having all kinds of technical difficulties.
I quit. I do. I just quit.
That is the voice of not Fake Ned Yost. That is the Fake Ned.
The Fake Ned. Thank you.
Things have changed on that front. I am Michael Engel. I'm hosting tonight because Troy is wearing his Colin Mayhem pants tonight and calling roller derby. And
Really, are they pants though, or are they more?
I've never
tights,
taken that close of
something?
a look, to be honest with you, and I'm not going to. So we're just going to let that one be where it is. And Jeff Herr is out, so it's just going to be Chris and I. Although Laurie Jen is in the studio, so she's just hanging out.
Literally and figuratively.
Literally, she's just here. So you heard her do our intro. So fantastic.
She did our intro, and those of you who don't understand or don't know, I do another podcast during the day called Rambling Morons. Might want to look that one up later on this afternoon when it posts. Just saying. How you doing?
You did have Mike McCartney on, so that's
Mike McCartney, yes.
That's
we
your
actually had a
Royals,
guest.
and he was very good. I mean,
he was solid.
He was just as
great.
good as when we had him on a couple months ago. So always good to hear from him, and good to know that things are going well with his treatments and everything. And as he said, he's is it 4 years smoke free?
4 years smoke free
So-
this week, he said. So.
Excellent. So that's great.
Good for him.
We're
Microphone there.
We're coming to you
Lady?
live for the first time since 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, of course, was our show with Willie Aikens, which was just
a good show.
incredible. Yeah,
It's a good show.
If you have not heard that episode or seen it, it is on YouTube. It's on Kings of Kaufman. It's on Stitcher Radio. You can find it anywhere you can find us.
Really, if you can't find it, then you clearly have no idea how the internet works, and you honestly don't deserve to see it because it was a really solid episode.
And you found this episode, so if you
yeah,
can find
I mean,
this
come
one,
on, seriously.
take the extra steps. Honestly, just search Royalman Report, Willie Aikens, you're going to find it. Really, really good stuff from him. He told his entire story from, being a star in the 1980 World Series to, his addictions, getting out of baseball, prison, coming out of prison. It was really incredible stuff. So you want to definitely check that out. Last week, because of the Super Bowl, we were not live, but we did provide a show, and it included Rainey did an interview with Chris, which was pretty much on the fly, and talked about being a Royals fan, which was good stuff. And then we talked a lot with Dave Darby, who was down in fantasy camp. And if you're a regular on our live show, Dave Darby is usually in our chat room, and I believe he is tonight.
Hi, Dave Darby.
Yep, Dave Darby 46, and you can follow him on Twitter. You might go back and try to find his tweets from the fantasy camp. It sounded like an awesome experience, and we all hate him because he was able to go do it. And go listen to his stories because you're going to be completely jealous, and you're going to want to shell out the money to go do it next year.
And speaking of the chat room, as is typical of the people who tend to watch our show live, there seems to be some sort of sub-conversation going on about Fruity Pebbles. So, thanks for that.
All right. And Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
No, I mean, why wouldn't you?
I'm glad they're joining us because we're up against the Grammys.
Give me your microphone.
So, we're competing against, the finest in the music industry, as well as everybody else who is at the Grammys.
Well, except for the one. One less.
Oh, too
RIP.
soon?
Too soon?
I don't know.
Was it too soon?
I mean,
I've had a couple of beers. I'm not
Yeah.
going to lie to you. So
I'm not going to comment because, well, it's a baseball show.
And earlier, between shows, I was completely demasculated or emasculated, or I got my nuts cut off, basically. I mean, let's tell you. And I'm not going to tell you why.
I will.
No.
Send me a
it's
DM.
not important.
No.
In my purse.
I won't.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow. I'm really
Hello.
sad that Jeff isn't here because we need
Laurie
to get
Kunkel,
back
ladies and
to
gentlemen. How
baseball.
we doing?
Hi, guys.
Yeah. Can you tell we don't have a guest today?
Yeah, there
It's
is no
just us.
guest. It's going to be kind of a little fast and loose kind of thing.
And the funny thing is, here, let me let you in on a little inside baseball with the Royalman report. Days where Troy's not here, right? We record the show, we record it live, but a lot of times he's working or he's doing whatever. And then I email him the show, and he posts it up online. And he, like 2 a.m, whenever he gets around to being, Troy, editing the show, he'll just start like spamming my phone. Like, why did you guys talk about me like that? And that was stupid. And you guys are dumb. Crap like that. So
He doesn't send that to me.
no, he doesn't, because
No.
there's gonna be quite a few. I'm thinking today already. Where are you guys drunk? Why is Laurie there? What's going on?
What happened on my show?
He would never say why is Lori there.
Probably not. Anyway, moving along.
It is the 12th of February. I believe it's 8 days until spring training, or the official start of Royal
8
spring
days.
training.
You got it.
So that's really exciting. It's been a long winter. Football season is over. We're kind of stuck on basketball season and waiting for that to finish up and baseball to start. So that's the hope. And there are a lot of storylines that we're kind of taking a look at. Obviously last year the Royals finished pretty strong. We're setting up a microphone for Laurie because she keeps talking, and she may as well be. We may as well record it so that people can hear her as she's
not done enough damage to the internet today.
I think I've done
She's-
it today.
It's kind of like the Muppet Show. She's on the balcony taunting us. She's what's his name, and Waldorf, whatever.
Hey, Shalon, you want to mic check that?
Check.
Whatever. You have
Wow.
no idea how
Anyway.
phones work.
So last year the Royals finished pretty strong. Had a good September as usual. There we go.
Atta girl.
And we're hoping to carry that into a good 2012. Eric Hosmer is going to be coming in. Buster Olney has done some features on him and the other young players. MLB.com did a feature the other day. So it's a lot of excitement. A lot of people are kind of picking the Royals as a trendy sleeper. It's difficult to say if they're going to ever top Detroit because they have signed Prince Fielder, and they've still got the pitching staff led by AL MVP and Cy Young Award winner Justin Verlander. So the Royals are going to need a few breaks if they're going to actually contend this year, but it seems like things are in place.
Had the Tigers not signed... I'm sorry, I'm eating. Sorry, Troy. Had the Tigers not signed Prince Fielder, do you think we would have had a shot? I mean, I don't think so. I think we still would have probably been number 2 or 3
I
in the
think it's
division.
still it's when you compare our starting rotation to the Tigers, it's not even. I mean, you've got Verlander, Max Scherzer is a good pitcher, Rick Porcello, Doug Fister. So when you compare those to Luke Hochevar and Bruce Chen and others, it's kind of like an average pitching staff against at least an above-average staff. And when you have Verlander, every fifth day you've got a chance
Verlander's
to
good.
win.
He's not bad.
Yeah, he's
pretty okay.
he's done pretty well for himself.
Laurie, you have something to share with the class?
Can we talk about pounders?
Brooks Pounders?
Brooks Pounders.
Brooks Pounders. What would happen if Brooks Pounders was traded for Doug Fister? Would you go Fister Pounders, or would you go
My-
Pounder Fisters?
My brain would explode.
Your brain, Twitter, and your brain would explode.
Yes. That's
Atta
what would
girl.
happen.
We're so proud of you.
I would do that deal. That'd be great.
I would do a Brooks Pounder.
You're
I would do a
welcome.
Pounder Sisters.
Right. I know
Tonight.
you would.
I would do a pounders fisters.
That's
I-
what we
I
were
think
talking about before
it's
the
great.
show.
Except in Disney World.
Wow.
Wow. All right.
Sorry about my microphone.
That's okay. We'll get away from the inside jokes because people don't want to hear that. They don't care. They don't care. Eric Hosmer, Alex Gordon, Mike Moustakas, those are kind of the guys that people are excited about. Another one, Lorenzo Cain is going to be the center fielder this year. Melky Cabrera was traded, so that leaves the opening for Lorenzo Cain. I'm really excited to see him. He's going to be somebody who I think he's going to hit enough that he's going to be valuable, There are concerns about if his swing is going to be too long, he's going to strike out. But, I like him. He hit 300 for the Brewers in about 2 or 3 months back in 2009? 2010. It's 2010.
Yes, 2010.
It's 2010, and then was traded over in the Zach Greinke deal. And never really got a shot last year because Melky Cabrera was doing otherworldly things and getting 200 hits. Also, the question is going to be the starting rotation and how others fit in. Aaron Crow, Everett Tiford, Mike Montgomery might have a shot. What's your impression, Chris, about any of those guys or, the current guys in the rotation?
Well, as you know, Mr. Engel, I don't do impressions, but unless it's, I do a, what do? I do a Popeye. I don't have a Tiford or a Crow impression, but
Wow.
I
Not even close to what I'm trying to get from you.
I'd be curious if Crow made it out of spring training. When I talked to
As
him,
a starter.
right? When I talked to him a couple of months ago, he seemed oblivious to the fact that
That
he
anybody
has
was even bringing it
he
up.
has next to no shot
Yeah.
of converting into a starter and making a major league starting roster. Now, it is the Royals' major league starting roster, so anything is possible.
Never
but,
know, yeah.
But now, I think it would be tough with the veterans. I say veterans. Excuse me. Troy's head exploded.
This is great radio. It's a good thing we can edit. We're going to have an 8-minute show at the end of this.
You want me to do Popeye again?
Oh, boy.
That was so weird.
Oh, my.
Why did that happen?
I don't know.
Honestly,
There's
I
a
don't
guy across the table from me telling me he doesn't do impressions. He spent 1.5 years pretending to be Ned Yost. So I don't know what's going on here.
Oh, I do a Kermit the Frog. You want to hear Kermit the Frog?
Why not at this point?
Why are there so many songs about rainbows?
You are so weird.
I don't know.
Did they let
You guys
sing
have
that at
learned just
Disney
about
World?
everything else about me tonight anyway, so
true.
just going to go ahead and let the freak flag fly.
Freak flag hashtag.
Your question, yeah, no, they got no shot.
Yeah.
Next question. Hey, you know what we haven't talked about yet, Mr. Engel
what have we
and
not talked about?
and Laurie? Maggie Moose.
Maggie Moose.
Maggie Moose is one of our sponsors this month, and they're having a special. If you go in and ask for ice cream, they will give you ice cream for a set amount of money.
Excellent.
Just ask for the Royalman special, and they will give you a small, medium, or
Words
large
never
amount.
said.
of whatever selection you choose from the menu.
Get
And whatever
the
price
Now-
they have posted.
You got to be careful in which
Royalman special.
you got to be careful in which establishment you go in and ask for the Royalman special,
Right.
because it means different things in different places. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Do you mean different Maggie Moose? Or different...
No. No. But like if you go into like Maggie's seamstress shop, it might mean one thing. If you go into, if you go into Moo Moo's on Main, you'll get a completely different setup. So it's our last show. So I mean, you gotta. Troy's right now calling different studios. I got a podcast I need to record next week.
Hi, Troy.
Speaking
Love
of
you.
starting
R.I.P. Troy.
rotations, we're just
back to baseball.
We're just going back to baseball. If this ends up being me talking for an hour, I'm okay with that. I'm comfortable. I'll carry the show. Doesn't matter to me.
I think you already are.
Right. I think you're right. So.
Doing a bang up job, baby.
Yep. So, like you were trying to say, Bruce Chen, Luke Hochaver, Jonathan Sanchez, those guys are locks. I mean, they're not going anywhere. Nope. None of them are going to go to the bullpen. They're not going to the minors. They're not getting released. Nothing's going to happen with them. Felipe Paulino, I think, did enough that he's going to have to fail completely in every way to not have that spot. The only question is Danny Duffy, and if they want to try to maybe put somebody in that fifth starter spot and have him get a few more shots down in the minors. He did come up pretty early. He came up at the end of May, and if they did send him down, it would be one of those things where they manipulate his service time, which can impact his arbitration, can impact when he's going to be a free agent.
Now I have a question.
Like that.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No,
Michael
that's
Engel,
fine.
Kings of Kaufman, senior editor, executive director, CEO, and ballpark chairman. The question's been raised in the chat room. Who's a better dancer, you or Danny Duffy?
Well,
now, do you know what I'm talking about? I mean, we know,
right?
We've heard.
I know that Danny Duffy has supposedly danced at the Martian event,
right?
And you're messing around on the computer, so I imagine there's probably going to be another one of these internet surprises that I'm going to end up.
No, I don't have an internet surprise.
Good.
No, those are all used up today.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
Surprises are
Thank
over.
God.
Yeah.
No, who's a better dancer? It's probably going to be Duffy. The guy's a professional athlete.
Really? Yeah, but I mean,
I'm
a couple of drinks in you, and you're
right.
You're a
It's
gazelle.
True, but I'm a 31-year-old guy who sits on the internet all day.
All right, fine. I think you're selling yourself short. I think you're a tremendous slouch.
Well, you think I'm a tremendous slouch?
You've never heard that scene from Caddyshack? You're too young for Caddyshack. Oh my God, how old am
I'm
I?
not too old.
You're 39.
Anyway, hey, let's take a break.
Hey, let's do that.
Let's play a commercial, and we're
take
gonna
a break.
have
We're gonna regroup. We're gonna drink some coffee. And
They're
we're
going to
be
drink
back.
some coffee. I'm going to shake my head in shame. We'll see you on the other side.
We'll be right back. Hey, Martin Steele, pay attention. Here comes a new ad just for you.
After a long day, you can only go so far. Callie, you work hard to make the moment right. Callie, you grind it out to make that time yours. Callie, you pound the pavement only to find you're getting closer. Callie, you find the peak and the peak finds you. Callie, when you find the time and she finds the time, make it Kelly. Callie. Kelly's Westport Inn can cause intimate moments and can also cause members of the opposite sex to appear more or less attractive than they actually are. You should speak to a doctor before attempting Kelly's Westport Inn, as the results might be marriage, children, or a one-night stand. Or it might just involve having some beers with your friends, eating some pizza, and watching the games on TV. I don't know. I talk pretty fast. Kelly's Westport Inn. You know when. Kelly. Tell them you came for the Royalman Report. Kelly's Westport, it's the place where you buy beer. This guy came into the bar the other day and was telling me that they had friends in town and went down to that fancy bar district downtown. They went to one of those swanky no-ball cap bars and ordered a beer. Now, this wasn't one of those imported beers, wasn't even one of those microbrew deals. This bartender rang up the tab and he wanted $27 for 3 dadgum beers. $27 for some beers. That isn't right. That isn't fair. So he took them down to see us. We got them some nice big beers for half that price. Even had one of the ladies find a fella there. Got him some pizza. Listen, don't fall victim to those overpriced, no ball cap bars down there. You might as well take your money and throw it in the trash. Kelly's Westport, it's the place where you buy beer. Kelly's Westport Inn, tell them the Royalman Report sent you. If you've missed the Rambling Morons podcast lately, you've missed this.
I didn't just start being cool. I've been cool my entire life.
I figured. KU is a better basketball team than MU. I'm sorry.
Oh, darling.
They just are.
If KU loses, you're going to eat a burrito and a bra. If MU happens to lose, which will not happen, I will eat a burrito and a bra.
Awesome. Is that why there's no women on your show?
That's right. Some people will do anything for the right price, right, Laurie?
Right. My ultimate goal is to not have to wear a bra ever.
Wow, you guys do have a special relationship.
It's special.
Back
I've
around.
always asked you to show me how to push your buttons.
First rule of radio: hand jobs sell ice cream. It's a bit of a sausage party. I'm not going to lie to you.
It is.
And basically, his podcast is football talk and him just yelling at his producer. Catch the Rambling Morons live Sundays at 4 o'clock or anytime at ramblingmorons.com. We're going to get hopped up on Ambien, and we're going to eat burritos in our bras.
Ah.
I always like the funky music when we come back in.
You're a funky guy, so that's why we bring the funky.
It takes me back to when I was in high school. I would sit around and listen to Ultimate Funk with
Ultimate Funk. That sounds like a cassette tape, like a K-tel.
It
deal.
was a compact disc.
Love it.
Do you remember those? I barely remember them.
Compact
discs.
Don't ask an old guy. I remember.
You remember vinyl.
I remember 8 tracks. Vinyl. I got vinyl.
My
here.
parents had vinyl. Or what?
You're my age.
Yeah, I know.
We had CDs.
Yeah, I know.
What was your first CD you bought?
First CD I bought was Boyz II Men's Coolie High Harmony.
Oh yeah, very nice.
Oh,
Mine
yeah.
was the soundtrack to the Wonder Years because I wanted Joe Cocker's.
Yeah.
Buy with a little help from my friends.
Do you know what
Absolutely.
mine was?
What?
A little
Master
ironic.
Master P.
Given, no, a little ironic given current events. The Bodyguards.
Oh.
Oh, Whitney,
soundtrack.
little Whitney. We started our show
Yeah.
today with Whitney's national anthem rendition at the
Oh,
Super
nice.
Bowl. So
Yeah, the better times.
the yes, a lot better than
Let's just say that.
Pre-crack.
pre-crack. Crack is whack. We determined on our show.
Right.
Didn't Whitney determine that?
This is really just kind of an extension of the show from earlier, so we
I'm very
apologize.
sorry. I'll stop
Are
talking.
you going to take your shirt off again
No.
in this one? So
No,
Troy's
I'm
head
not.
just exploded again. Sorry.
Sorry, guys.
Wow.
My bad.
Second CD I ever got was the Wayne's World soundtrack.
Oh, very nice. With
Bohemian, yeah,
Tia Carrere's
Carrere.
version of
Ballroom Blitz.
Blitz,
Yes,
which was
it's fantastic.
made me a man.
It's good
Really?
So there's that.
stuff. All right.
Well, that's weird.
God dang, this is a train wreck.
Troy, we need you.
Let's talk some baseball. And,
Troy's like,
you guys can listen and just bask in my baseball knowledge for the next 10 minutes.
Hey,
of
would
the
you
No,
talk
let's
to
talk
us
about
about the
baseball.
baseball?
Let's do
We're
it.
going to talk about baseball. The Royals signed 2 guys from Latin America. What was that? 2 guys from Latin America during the week, or during the 2 weeks between our last show and this one. First guy was a guy named Roman Hernandez Jorin. This guy's a 24-year-old outfielder, born in Cuba, ended up defecting to the Dominican Republic. He's an outfielder, like I said, 24 years old. His agent describes him as a 5-tool player, so take what you want out of that. But in one of the series in the Dominican, he was hitting 300. He had,
Lori, how many tools do you have?
That I use?
I mean, I saw a couple today.
Batteries or no batteries?
Back to you, Mike.
Wow, this used to be about baseball. So that's a guy, he's probably going to end up being in extended spring training this year as he acclimates to the United States and as he gets used to professional baseball in the U.S. And then we'll see. In a couple of years, he might be somebody who has an impact down the line. He signed for less than $1 million. The other guy that they signed, his name is Brantley Crisotomo. He's 17 years old. He's from the Dominican Republic. And from the scouting reports, he's one of those guys who might be a little bit advanced. There are statements that he was overmatching older hitters. He's got an 88 to 91 mile per hour fastball, good feel for the game. He's got a curveball, a changeup. He was in the Dominican Prospect League, was an all-star, and the pitcher of the game. He threw 2 innings, struck out 5 guys. He signed for like $98,000. So he's a guy who you're not going to hear much about him on a big scale until probably 3 or 4 years from now because he is only 17. But the Royals keep investing in the farm system, and hopefully that's something that will pay off. Clint Scholes had a pretty cool article on Pine Tar Press talking about possibly going after the Cuban prospect. What's his first name here? Forgot the guy's name. Soler. He's kind of described as a Bubba Starling type. He's kind of got the same kind of abilities, but still also a little bit raw. So that could be something to look at. That guy might be about $20 million to sign him. So we'll see if that happens. The new CBA really restricts what is going to be possible for international signings once some of that kicks in. So the Royals seem to be trying to do that now. They also came to agreements with a lot of the players who aren't eligible for arbitration yet. So just basically contract amounts. A lot of guys getting league minimum or just barely league minimum. Guys like Blake Wood and Kelvin Herrera and Clint Robinson, guys who we may not even see a lot of them in the majors. But the big signing, the big transaction of the week was Alex Gordon avoided arbitration, agreed to a one-year deal for $4.8 million.
Dun, 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 dun.
So, he was going to be under team control anyway, but the question was, how much would it cost, and are they going to work on an extension? So
now this was a big question my wife had. She says, well, why is that a big deal that he signed a one-year deal? And basically I told her that, I said that means that he can not go through arbitration and still continue to go for a long-term contract without the mess of arbitration.
Right, because basically arbitration, they had a date set. It was going to be the 16th, where they would sit down. Gordon and his agent would sit down next to the Royals. They would have an arbiter. Both sides present their case. They have exchanged figures about what they want to pay, Alex Gordon, what Alex Gordon's salary is going to be. And basically it's on the Royals to state all their reasons why he's not worth the $5 million. I think it was $5.175 million that they put out, and the Royals put out about $4 million as their offer. So it's really difficult to go from there, where you're trying to point out all the flaws and all the concerns you have, and then turn around and say, hey, let's negotiate a long-term deal. Well, I mean, what does that say to Alex Gordon? What does that say to his agent? So the Royals really wanted to kind of get it out of the way, it seems, and they did just that. So now they can continue. A lot of people I've seen on Facebook and on Twitter have been questioning, well, why are they only signing him to a one-year deal? And the important thing to note is that just signing the one-year deal doesn't negate any negotiations. You can still negotiate, and quite often it happens where a team will come to that agreement, and then later on, either before spring training is over or somewhere early in the year, they make the announcement that an extension has been reached. Most of the time, most of the people talking about it seem to think it's going to be about a 4-year deal. Dayton Moore really likes to put option years when he signs players or extends them, so that's something to look for too. My guess that I've been kind of throwing out is 4 years, $38 million is the base, and then probably 2 option years, so it would be about 6 years and maybe $70-some million. So that would take Gordon to about age 32, 33, 34. So those are generally going to be the peak years.
I'd take that. That'd be good. Be good by me.
Yeah, and I think that sends a good message to the guys who are coming up now that you're going to get rewarded for having a good year, and he had an excellent year. He had one of the best years that we've seen from a Royals player in recent memory. I mean, 300, had 40 doubles, 20 homers, stole double-digit bases, won a Gold Glove. I mean, what else can you ask him to do? So, he's getting paid no matter what. Definitely deserves the contract that he's going to have now. And if they do sign him to an extension, you don't have to worry about the things like if he's going to be another Johnny Damon or Carlos Beltran or whoever, guys that we had to trade away and never hear from again.
Here's my only question: what if he sucks next year? What if he goes back? What if he backslides and is just not anywhere close to the Alex Gordon that he was this year?
Well, that's I think part of the reason why the Royals they seem to be like they're a little bit apart. Nate Bukaty had a tweet out that the Alex Gordon side is looking for about 6 years and $80 million for the complete extension. The Royals are rumored to have offered 4 years and $30 million. So I think that's definitely one of the concerns. He's had really just the one good year, and the other years have been lost to injuries or ineffectiveness. And you don't want to lock up a guy for a large contract where he just turned 28 2 days ago. You know, he's getting into the upper age range for a lot of work, for where players usually will sign an extension. So it's difficult to say if everything he did last year is for real. And then if you get into, you know, advanced stats like his batting average on balls in play, he's probably going to have his batting average drop a little bit this year. So, I mean, he hit over 300, and he's never really approached that at any level other than, you know, in the minors. So it's definitely something you don't want to lock him up and have him be terrible, because then you're just stuck with him. It's kind of like when Mike Sweeney signed his extension, and almost immediately after his back gave way, and, you know, the Royals were just stuck with the guy.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah,
I remember that part. That was great.
$11 million, and the guy's playing 80 games a year. So that's what you run into. So, I mean, that's a completely valid question, and that's why, you know, a lot of people are saying let him have one more year, and then maybe see if we extend him next year, because the Royals,
or if he jumps out hot, you know.
Yeah, sign him up as soon as you can, just because if he has another year like this year, the Royals are going to pay like crazy to keep him around, and it's just going to cost them more, which, you know, then you get into, are they going to be able to re-sign Eric Hosmer? Are they going to be able to extend Mike Moustakas and guys like that, where, you know, those guys are going to be commanding pretty good salaries too, while Alex Gordon's making $12-13 million a year at the end of his extension. Yep. So those are definite concerns. I think he's still going to have the same kind of power numbers. Everything Kevin Seitzer is saying about him is that he's doing all the work. He's doing everything right. He's always been kind of a guy who can take a walk, so he's not necessarily going to be someone who's going to be swinging at everything. So, you know, when you combine that with some actual success, you know, the pressure's kind of off of him. He doesn't have to worry too much. Hopefully he can just go out and play. They get him signed to an extension and just let him do what he's going to do. So that's my hope, and I think that's how it's going to work out. You know, 20 homers, 25 homers, still solid defense. You know, if that's what it ends up being, I think everybody's going to be pretty happy with that.
Right, Laurie? You look like you were going to say something.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That, or you just passed out.
No, I'm with you.
Either
really
option is definitely possible.
No, either one's good. We're good.
Bang up job, Monty.
That's right. Not the best color man in baseball for nothing.
Fly ball. Cots. That's actually going to be my Tuesday. I'm going to watch, for Valentine's Day, I'm going to watch Major League and Major League 2. So
I like it. That's great.
The inner workings of my personal life for the nobody out there who's interested.
Party at Engel's house.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what I do.
You've already thought about what you're going to watch on Valentine's Day?
On Valentine's Day, yeah.
Okay.
I ain't going out. It's Tuesday.
Right.
And I got no one to go out with.
But you made you made plans to watch a movie?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay.
Yeah. I always do that. I do that every year.
Okay.
It's called Tuesday.
It's called Tuesday, and it's, yeah. So, Alex Gordon, I think we're going to extend him. Hopefully the Royals don't tie themselves up for too much, because I'd really rather get Eric Hosmer extended than Alex Gordon, personally. But, you know, if we can find a way to get both, that's even better. So, let's go ahead and take another break.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry,
You've got the sheet.
listening to the We Are Mizzou video.
No problem.
I just was listening to the We Are Mizzou video.
Why?
Do it once? Easy.
Where's Coach A these days anyway?
Arkansas?
Ah, come on, Andrew. Faith and hate, man. You know the worst thing about Arkansas?
What's that?
KU
got
video?
Kansas.
What's that?
Can we play the We Are KU video?
No, there is no KU video.
No,
There is a KU video.
We not knocking on the door.
There's a retort.
You guys have been knocking on the door for a long time. Yeah, you guys were talking about the UMKC ruse on Rambling Morons. Here's a fun question. Who has more Final Four appearances, the Kangaroos or the Missouri Tigers?
How'd your team do last weekend?
Trick question, because they both have 0. How did we do last weekend? We did fine.
Why are you so white?
I'm not as white as these guys.
No, you're not.
So there you go.
But you're dancing like them.
Straight dope. Or what were we doing? Were you taking a break?
We're trying to take a break.
Oh,
Instead,
I thought
we're
we were
watching
on
a bunch
break.
of-
Are we still on air?
No, we're still
on the air.
Sorry about this, guys.
All right,
My bad.
We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Unreal.
Engel.
Hey, Troy, what are you doing this weekend?
Gonna grab a beer somewhere. What do you have in mind?
I heard about this awesome new bar downtown. It's called Rage. The waitresses have a contest to see who has the most piercing.
No, man, that's not really my scene.
Well, there's another bar close by called Spit Cup. Check it out. The bartenders wear chaps, and every hour they shoot a guy.
No, seriously, I just want a bar where I can sit down and watch the game.
Okay, I've got just the place. It's called Lilac. You sit on pillows, and you drink from eucalyptus leaves.
No, Ned, but I just want a place where I can get a cheap drink and watch the football game.
Okay, I got it. This place, it's got a TV. It's called 816. All their drinks come in NBA hats.
Man, I just want a place like Kelly's.
Oh, you mean Kelly's Westport Inn? No, they've got all the basketball and bowl game. They've even got a heated roof. The view is really nice, too, if you know what I'm saying. Why didn't you just say you wanted to go to Kelly's?
Kelly's Westport Inn, 500 Westport Road. Make it your place to go any time of the week. Tell them the Royalman report sent you.
Come to Spit Cup this week. We'll let the person who has the highest bar tab ride the bull. We don't have any TVs in our bar, but we make our own entertainment. Mondays, it's free cover charge to anybody with a gun rack in their pickup truck. Tuesdays, we've got $8 beer night. All domestic beers are on special for only $8. It's Spit Cup. Wednesdays is longest tobacco spit. Thursdays is foot fungus night. Friday night is jamboree night. Bring your crap kick in your 10-gallon hats. And this weekend, you get our world-famous Spit Cup girls. You get to pick which one has the most teeth. It's Spit Cup.
No love letters, talking to the wall.
Or you could go to Kelly's Westport Inn. The highest quality drinks with the lowest prices. You know what we do. Drinks, friends, plenty of TV showing sports. They've got all the basketball and all the baseball on. Live music on the weekends. The best pizza in Kansas City and fun. Kelly's has the best rooftop patio in town and is voted one of the best places in Kansas City to check out the view, if you know what I mean, and maybe make a new friend. Make the best choice for your evening entertainment, Kelly's Westport Inn. Kelly's is at 500 Westport Road in Kansas City, Missouri. Kelly's Westport Inn. Tell them the Royalman report sent you.
This is Holding Court with Kings of Kaufman. My name is Michael Engel. I'm the senior editor for kingsofkaufman.com on the Fan-Sided Network. And this is our chance every week to take a look at a specific article and feature the author. This week, we're talking with Gage Matthews, the longest tenured staff writer on Kings of Kaufman, and we're discussing his article, Moving from Darkest Night to Brightest Day. Gage, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Now, the first thing that I found really interesting on this, and you teased this the day before you posted it, you make not just one but two comic book references in this article. The first one, obviously, the title is the Green Lantern, but the main one that I think is within the piece is somehow you got away by comparing Dayton Moore to Batman from The Dark Knight. So how did you come to that connection?
Well, I think it sort of come upon me when I was watching the movie recently, and I was seeing how Batman was basically building the city back to the way he wanted it to be. He had his own reasons, but he was trying to take it from somewhere very dark to somewhere much lighter and much brighter for the population of the city. And it also struck me that, well, before he became evil, that Harvey, the district attorney, he was the face of this movement. Everyone sort of hated Batman, especially in the end, but Harvey could be something brighter. And so I sort of came upon this dichotomy of someone the fans could hate and someone the fans could look to and love. And that struck me as sort of a Dayton Moore versus Hosmer and Moustakis and the rest of those guys sort of arrangement.
Yeah, and the quote you take from the movie, or one of them, is in reference to Batman, he's the hero Gotham deserves, but not the one it needs right now. So we'll hunt him because he can take it. You know, I've met Dayton Moore twice. Just sitting in the same room, you can tell that, you know, he knows the criticism. He knows pretty much everything anybody has ever tried to catch him on. And there's just a quiet confidence that, you know, he's going by what he thinks is going to be the right way to build this baseball team. So in light of that, what are the key things to, you know, what is sometimes derisively noted as the process? What are the things that you're seeing him do right now that are working in your eyes?
Well, he's basically done everything he set out to do. He's taking an 8 or 10 year plan from when he started, and his first full season was in 2007, and he's drafting and bringing in players the cheaper way to build a team for the future rather than spending a lot of money to build a present team. So that's the main thing, is that this process he's talked so much about and that people make fun of him for, basically, is exactly what he's doing. And he's achieved that to this point, and he's not giving in. Even I've been guilty of wanting them to trade some players or spend some extra cash to get a couple big guys, big names on the team, but he sticks to his guns. He's got this formula he wants to work out, and it's working. They're starting to win a few more games, and a lot of people, even like tonight, I met my roommate's father, and he said, you know, the Royals look good for the future. And people are starting to notice that they really have this team that's building to the point where they'll be ready to go in a few years, 2 years, maybe next year, maybe this year. And I think that's the main thing to remember is even though he doesn't bring in the $10 million guys, he's still got a team that's ready to win.
I'm glad that you used the phrase sticking to his guns and brought up that point, because that's the same way that I see it. That, you know, a lot of times there were a couple of rumors that went out where there were talks about Will Myers being traded for part of a deal to get James Shields or Gio Gonzalez or Matt Garza. And the impression that I got is that Dayton knows that, you know, Will Myers is going to be one of those great hitters when he gets up here. He's a top 20 prospect right now, and that's coming off of a bad year. But just in the bigger picture, that he's not just going to throw all these prospects out there just to get somebody with the idea that 2012 is the only opportunity that they're going to have to compete, but that, you know, they've got, you know, the quote-unquote window to bring these guys up. And we haven't even seen everybody who's potentially going to be part of what we think is a playoff contender or a championship team. So, you know, sticking to his guns, in my view, it's the right way to do it, and it's the right approach that he's taken in this off season. And I think probably we'll see that later on this season too, unless things fall correctly.
Right.
So that is the article. It's moving from darkest night to brightest day, and hopefully 2012 is the first signs of that bright day ahead, and many more days down the line. The article is by Gage Matthews. Gage, thanks for joining us on Holding Court and the Royalman Reports.
Thanks for having me, and thanks to all the listeners for tuning in.
This has been Holding Court with Kings of Kaufman. Check out kingsofkaufman.com for everyday analysis, commentary, and writing by Royals fans, part of the Fansided Network, and home to the Royalman Report.
Boom,
And we are back. Are you getting me?
I got you, baby.
You got it? Okay,
Oh, I
good.
got you, baby.
I'm not hearing me. That's okay. We're back here on the Royalman Reports, brought to you every week by Kelly's Westport and our partners. And,
you jiggle a little bit when you.
I know
when you have the funk.
When I got the funk,
when you're down with the funk.
I can't help it. It's
you get a little jiggle to you.
It
I like
hits,
it. I think it sounds great.
Here and there it goes.
It's a soulful jiggle.
That's what it is. Western Kansas soul, right there for you.
Right.
So, the big news, aside from the Alex Gordon signing, is the Fox Sports Kansas City TV crew is finalized.
Yeah.
You don't sound too excited.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, Frank's still not on the show, which sucks.
Right.
Frank went on local radio again this week and just completely just destroyed the Royals again.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd he go?
He went to the T-Bones, and then he signed up. Then he signed up to be the pre and post game analyst for 810 Sports Radio 810.
Yeah.
But where'd he go on the radio to blast him?
On 810.
This was on 810.
Yeah, he went on 810. And it said that's fine, but whatever. And then they announced Rex Hudler and Steve Fisiak,
right,
who both used to be on the Angels broadcasts.
Yep, up until 2009.
Rex Hudler, a former Cardinal, I believe.
Former Cardinal, Yankee, Angel, and a couple other teams.
Yeah.
One of those utility guys.
And they've done their media tour already, and they're okay, I guess. I'm gonna have to hear them.
Yeah,
on the air before I'm gonna get all excited.
Yeah, I don't really know much about any of them beyond what I've read, having not really watched Angels broadcasts myself, and what reason would I have for that? If I'm going to watch the Angels, I'm going to watch them when they're against the Royals, which means I'm going to hear the Royals. So,
yeah,
they're just guys I don't run into.
And that's not a typical. If you have the MLB package, it's not a typical game you're going to watch a lot because they're on the West Coast, and
yeah.
It is what it is. But I'm sure they'll be fine. It's going to be a big year for them. I mean, they're going to have a lot of big games to televise. So, and they've got some weird, goofy rotation where they're not doing all games, just the two of them. They're doing 80 games here, there, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
the
confused.
primary Rex Hudler is going to be your primary play-by-play guy. So he's going to do 120 of the 140 broadcasts on TV. And Jeff Montgomery is going to do the other 20. And Jeff Montgomery, we're going to have him as part of the show on
Yeah, he's going to be here in a couple of weeks. Yeah,
2 weeks.
We're going to have to clean up our act before that happens.
Yeah.
This is unacceptable behavior.
This is
what this is.
But we're not.
Monty's a
hosting
classy
anybody.
guy.
Yeah, Monty's a good guy, and
maybe I'll take that week off. I don't know.
Troy can run stuff, right? You trust him with your equipment.
That's.
You sure don't want
monkeys
me
and footballs with that.
I don't
No.
want to mess with that stuff. So Hudler's kind of got that. He's got a reputation as being kind of a homer, being a little. I don't know. I don't want to say goofy because I haven't heard him, but that's what people say. So I don't know. Steve Fisiak is another guy. I think he's got some Midwest connections, some Kansas City connections. So he's kind of coming home, and he's going to be doing. Fisiak will do 50 games of. Play-by-play. Ryan Lefevre will be back. He'll do 90 games of play-by-play, and those guys are going to do some radio as well. So my hunch is I think Ryan kind of wanted to do some more radio, and earlier in the off season he was talking with the Twins about possibly being their radio guy. So I think radio is just kind of his home and what he really likes to do, and TV is just kind of part of it. And so those guys are going to switch off, and I think Denny Matthews is going to do like 110 of the radio broadcasts, and yeah, they're just going to kind of break it up and split it up. So it's going to be on any given night, who knows who you're going to see. So we'll see how that works out. We'll see how fans take to Hudler and Fisiak, because I don't know. There's plenty of criticism levied against Lefevre's commentary, and Bob Davis and Steve Stewart and even Frank White as an analyst, and Jeff Montgomery as well. So I mean,
well, Bob Davis is terrible.
Bob Davis, he's not bad for basketball and football, but baseball isn't necessarily his thing.
I don't care for him on basketball and football either.
Well, of
but
course you wouldn't.
He's doing.
He's typically
that
calling
one team.
The University
it's not
of
the We Are
Kansas.
Mizzou.
No,
we knocking on the door.
That's just so
what?
bad.
I'm what? What, Laurie?
You're white.
That's just terrible. So we'll see how that works out. For me, I don't really care too much what I'm listening to as long as there's baseball on. You can always mute it. You can always turn on the radio. Whatever you got to do. I think it's just as if you want to pick your battles and complain about Rex Hudler, that's fine. That's totally fair. That's your right as a fan. I'm not terribly concerned. I just want to see some games.
Yeah, we need to get the season going because we're getting a little punchy in here. Right. I'm not gonna lie to you. Right. And it's starting to smell.
I think it's under control.
You think we got this?
Yeah, I mean, I think everything's fine.
We want 6 more weeks of fall.
6 more weeks of winter.
Ugh.
Yeah,
no. I want some reports from spring training, and I wish I were going down to spring training, but I know a lot of people are going to be down there, and that'll be interesting to see, on Twitter what they're talking about and what things are happening down there, what people are working on.
Hell, half the team's down there already.
Yeah, most of them are already down there, and they've been down there for a while too. So I think a lot of the younger guys, the lower level guys, have been down there for almost a month even. But even guys, Hosmer and Dyson and Moustakis and Sal Perez and those guys were down there while Dave Darby was down there. I mean, they came through the clubhouse while the fantasy camp was going on, and so all the players kind of got them together, and they did a little meet and greet.
Nice.
With the big leaguers. So, there's pictures of people posing with them and things like that. So that's pretty cool. And those guys are all working down there. And, Johnny Giovatello is down there getting his hip ready after his surgery back in, I think the surgery was in November for his hip. So a lot of stuff going on. I think guys are excited to be down there. They're ready. They're kind of gearing up to go. And the difference this year than last year is a lot of the guys who are going to be there, like Hosmer and Moustakis, didn't play in any off-season leagues, whereas in the past, last year they did the Pan Am games with Moustakis and Hosmer and Tim Collins and some of those guys. So they were down there. This year that just didn't happen. So they haven't played baseball really since the end of the year. They've just done workouts. So I think the players are really just ready to do it. And if you read them on Twitter, they're definitely ready. And speaking of Twitter, earlier today I saw that Jake Odorizzi joined Twitter, and simply enough, he is under @JakeOdorizzi. So
my goal this week is to make a list of all the Royals Twitter. I emailed or I tweeted at the Royals PR, and they said they don't. I'm sure they have one, but they're not gonna.
Yeah, they're not gonna
give it to everybody. So we'll cobble together one. It should be easy enough of all the major leaguers, and then we probably got most of the minor league ones.
Yeah,
around.
Someone
Bubba
had one out
Starling's
on.
Got one, and
Bubba's got one. Jason Adams, Lane Adams, Christian Colon, some of the lower level guys.
Yeah,
so, I mean, there's.
We'll get all those on a list. I'll publish it on the website. We'll get it over at Kings of Kaufman, and we'll get that out there in case you guys want to follow all the hot ball players.
Oh yeah, and Matt Hayes has a list. I remember he's got one up there. So.
Oh okay, well then
so we can
save
go
me
through
some trouble.
Of that. So.
Thank you,
Matt.
Matt.
Seeing that. So we will get to that and then be able to get all those out there because I think it's interesting to follow those guys. Both from the social media aspect, but also just as a fan to see what those guys are doing.
And every once in a while they'll ping back and forth. I saw something where Aaron Crow just had arrived in surprise and Hosmer. Aaron Crow said, "I'm going out for a cheeseburger," and Hosmer's like, "Well, you didn't invite me." And it was funny. It was hilarious.
And I think Crow went with Everett Tiford, who they were joking about, what car they were going to take. Because last year during spring, Tiford had his truck stolen. They were all having dinner. So, I think we'll see more of those stories as a lot of these guys, 20, 21, 22 years old.
What's the worst that can happen?
Right. Yeah.
Craziness.
Who knows?
Nutty.
Laurie,
when are you going down to spring training? Not going this year?
Arizona?
Yeah, Arizona. Let's go. Let's all go. Big party. After the boob job?
I used to date the...
Oh, we're going to need to hear this story then. Sorry, Mike. You got anything else you need to say? No.
Sorry about
Okay,
that,
let's hear the
Mike.
story.
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
The guy that runs international scouting for the Rangers now.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What?
Okay. Used to date him?
Yeah.
Really?
That's the closest I come to like knowing anything about baseball.
Yeah. Probably scouted Josh Hamilton then.
Probably.
So how long ago did you date him? That's.
This would have been in like 2004, 2005. He wasn't with. He was with the Indians.
Did you have some fairly intense discussions about scout players and
on base percentage?
Yeah,
War?
we did. We had a lot of intense discussions.
I'll bet you did.
All right. Awesome.
Moving right along.
Shout out to Mike Daly. Hi,
Hey, Mike Daly. Yo, what's up?
What's up? I know you're watching this.
We knocking on the door.
Seriously. I mean, you know.
What?
How many... I went back and looked since the Big 12 started.
Here we go.
The University
Here
of Missouri
goes.
has one team national championship. So
yeah,
congratulations to the 2001 women's long distance relay medley team.
Can't take that away from us.
No.
Can't take that away from us.
No.
What?
Definitely matches the 2008 NCAA men's basketball tournament.
Oh yeah,
Hey,
that
look,
was awesome.
Look, we got to go to break.
Yes.
The music's playing, so we got to go to break. We're gonna go to break. We're at the Royalman Report.
And we'll see you on the other side.
We'll be right back on the other side.
Probably.
Maybe.
Fake Ned Minute.
Oh, who did that?
The summer wind came blowing in from across the sea.
Only a week or so remains before you hear the familiar pop of the glove and see the green, artificially watered grass of the Arizona sun. Ah, yes, spring training is finally here. Sure, you get to see your old favorites and maybe meet a few of the new guys, but the best thing about spring training is the cliches. Maybe you've heard a few of these. Everyone starts in first place. Hope springs eternal. Looking to have a career year. Just trying to focus on getting better one day at a time. Play like every job is up for grabs. Just doing what I can to help improve the team. He's in the best shape of his life. And he's got great stuff. You know, if you'll notice, there's not a negative cliche in the lot. They're all positive, because spring training is all positive. And that's baseball. The cliches don't start getting negative until the first pitch hits the glove in Game 1. At that point, the language gets a little saltier, the interviews get a little less frequent, and the hair gets a little grayer. But for now, it's spring training, it's our time, and it's our Royals. This has been your Fake Ned Minute.
The autumn wind and the winter winds, they have come and gone.
Fake Ned Minute.
Oh, who did that?
I am just the worst producer in the history of podcasting ever. I have echoes and beeps, and I had a small fire in here earlier today. So.
Oh, boy. What you saw as we were kind of coming back from break is that was a clip of Gar Rhinus, the batting stance guy. He was doing a George Brett batting stance for that, and we're going to have him on next week. He's a really cool guy. Follow him on Twitter. You know, if you like snarky comments about baseball players, he's got plenty of them. And, you know, if you're on Twitter and you're a baseball fan, you probably like snarky comments about baseball players. So he's the batting stance guy. He's got a book out there, you know, all kinds of stuff on YouTube. He's, you know, been on David Letterman and, you know, other stuff. So pretty cool dude.
Now, see, at some point he was probably just batting stance guy, and he added the batting stance guy, and nobody batted an eye at him.
Right, but
right?
He wasn't batting stance guy Yost. That's
You're
the
the
difference.
guy that proposed to your wife at Disney World.
Oh, look at it. Here we gotta go to a break again.
Just
so that's an exciting guest for next week, and we're also going to have another guest who I don't think we're making it completely public yet. I think we're kind of keeping it as a mystery guest for right now.
Really?
It's not me, you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. I don't know.
Really?
That's a good call.
I think it's a Troy thing. He wants to keep it a secret.
Who?
For now. What?
Oh, I guess I don't know.
You don't know. You
Okay.
missed out on one of the 17 email threads we had this week, which is actually down from our
Oh,
usual
got it. Yeah,
I
45.
didn't miss out on
Usually
any
much-
of them.
No.
I got them all.
And somehow Laurie got
Right.
attached to most of these.
Right.
And so you're part of the
I
club
like
now.
it though, because like I feel like I'm in like on the baseball network.
Right.
And, like you guys are sending emails about like people getting traded and people getting signed.
Important
and I'm like,
stuff.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah, I know that.
And then we're
Like,
talking about
I'm in
just
on
stupid
that.
things too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no.
Well, I
yeah.
respond
like I
with
went to
stupid
lunch and I
things,
got
so.
I had chili at lunch. Oh, cool.
Great.
Yeah,
Love
your chili.
chili.
My chili was better.
love
Reply
chili.
all. That's great. There's also a Greg Doyle interview that the guys did earlier today that we're going to put out as well. Greg Doyle from CBS Sports.
Yeah, my guess is that may just completely just overshadow this particular episode, and
I hope it
that
does.
may just be the next
To be
episode instead.
perfectly honest with you, there's going to be 3 minutes of me talking about Alex Gordon, all the clips we do. That's about it. That's probably all that's going to be redeemed out of this. So, who knows? We needed Jeff to keep us on track, so hopefully he's feeling better next week.
Yeah, Jeff. Seriously, this is what happens when you're not in the room.
Right.
Things are great, Jeff.
It deteriorates badly.
Right. So, batting stance guy next week, and then coming up, we've got a couple other clips that we want to show you of what he's done. But in a couple weeks, we're also going to have Jeff Montgomery. So that's going to be pretty cool.
Jeff Montgomery.
The Jeff Montgomery, Royals Hall of Famer. Does the Hot Stove
right.
Show on 810. Pre and post game with Joel Goldberg.
Friend of the program, Jeff Montgomery.
Yeah, good guy.
Yep, good guy.
Definitely gonna want to tune in for that. And then March gets a little bit weird because Chris has umpiring stuff, so the schedule's gonna be a little weird. You're gonna want to follow Royalman Report on Twitter at Royalman Report to get the update on when our shows are going to be out. And we'll have an update on kingsofkaufman.com as well. That way everybody can keep track. And, if you've got Stitcher Radio and iTunes and all that, it will automatically update when we do a new show. So if you happen to miss us on the live show, and, after tonight, I can't say that I blame you. It's a good way
I think
to catch up on
you're
things.
completely underselling the show. I think
My bad.
It's going to go in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we've got Willie Mays Aikens and this show.
Hey, Martin Steele, I got
Right
something
in
for
the
you.
city.
Hey, hang on.
Uh-oh.
Hang on, Martin Steele. What do you think about that, huh? Mr. Chat Room fella? Stick that up your nose.
That is Martin Steele. So, that's what we've got. What?
He's done. I love you, man.
All right.
I love you.
That's great.
Awesome.
You're not going to love me on Sunday the 26th because we're taking it back.
We're taking
Rock Chalk.
You're not knocking on the door.
I completely understand if you want to celebrate your one big win in 5 years. That's great. It's awesome.
You want to bet too?
I don't make
I got to bet with
bets.
this one.
I'm not
Come on, you want to go?
And I lived up to it like a Jayhawk.
You did like a perfect gentleman. Well done. And you will live up to the next one by what's the bet this time? If KU wins, KU loses, you have to sing
the fight song
with a Missouri shirt on.
Yes.
And I don't remember what
You're going to eat a burrito and a bra.
That's a terrible bet. I'm so disappointed
Did
in
I
betting negotiations.
Did I agree to that?
Yeah. You guys should.
Are you kidding me?
No, I mean I'm just saying.
I'm sorry, I can't cuss on this show.
No, Troy's
you've already done
ears
it 3
explode.
times.
Troy's already stopped listening.
Like I
so.
said, we can edit.
Okay. Yeah, that's the bet.
Wow, that was a horrible bet by me. But yeah, no, it'll
Yeah.
be fine, I'm sure.
Not
You
now.
You want a piece of this?
Baby.
You want a piece of this,
What?
Engel? Come on.
You want in on the bet?
You're going to be wearing KU shirt and singing the KU fight song then.
How about you? What are you putting
I'll
in the
do
kitty?
the same thing. I'll do the
Burrito
same
and a
thing.
bra?
No. Mizzou shirt and Mizzou fight
What do
song.
you have to lose by eating a burrito and a bra? Just put a bra
Yeah,
on.
just put a bra on,
No,
man.
I'm not doing
it's
that.
not like you're probably not even. Troy does it.
I'm not Troy.
Camler.
What?
settle down.
Oh,
let's play
have
the
we
other,
gone to a dark place?
Let's play the other
Sorry.
batting stand sky things, and then
tights.
Let
That's
everybody get
tights.
away.
It's not a
It
bra.
is tight.
Damn it. Sorry.
Correct.
What are we doing? We're playing a couple more batting stance guy ones?
Yep.
All right, here we
and
go.
then we're getting out of here.
Great to see you. Great to see you. Great to see you. Great to see you. Hey, great. Yeah. That's it.
Hey.
Guess.
Mira. ¿Cómo se queda?
So that is the batting stance guy.
That guy sounds like a lot of fun, and he's got to basically know like every guy because when he goes into these teams,
I mean, they're just pointing them out.
they'll be like, "Yeah, get
Chris
this guy.
Getz.
He just came up yesterday." Chris Getz.
And honestly, who's going to pay attention to Chris Getz' batting
seriously,
stance?
that's insane.
Clearly, Kevin Seitzer doesn't even pay attention to Chris Getz' batting stance. That's
Yeah,
a cheap
no.
shot. That's a cheap shot.
That's
on Chris
terrible.
Getz. I'm sorry, Chris Getz.
Rude.
It is. I apologize.
Hashtag rude.
Redacted.
Yeah, it's good times.
Exactly. I can't wait for spring training to start. I can't
No,
wait
clearly.
for the games to start. I want something to talk about besides where Roy Oswalt is or is not going.
Where is he going?
I have no idea. 2 or 3 weeks ago, he was talking about there were
Dynamite
reports that he
dropping
was gonna sign with the Cardinals, and then that turned out to not be the case. And now who knows? He's talking to 4 different teams and might even retire. I don't know. But the Royals probably aren't going to sign him. I'd like them to. Probably aren't going to sign him.
Probably not going to happen.
I would guess they probably approached him, and he didn't want to come here. I mean, he's 34. He's had back troubles. He might have 1, maybe 2 seasons left in him. Probably wants to play for a team that's probably going to be a favorite to make the playoffs and be in the World Series. And as much as I would love to say that the Royals are at that spot, they're not yet. So, if you look at, he's talked to the Rangers and the Cardinals, who are obviously last year's World Series participants, and he's talked to the Red Sox, who every year are going to be in the top 5 contenders for winning the American League and going to the World Series. So can't blame him for doing that, and so more power to him. And if he doesn't find the right deal, he can retire. The guy's made probably $100-some million over his career, so he's done everything. What else is there to do other than win the championship?
That's what I say about me. It's why I changed my name.
Right.
I've done everything. What else is there
Right.
to do except change my name?
It's like when Michael Jordan changed his jersey number when he came out of retirement.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
I should have just changed it to the fake 45.
Sure, or Yost Ned Fake.
Yost Ned
Just
Fake.
move it along or something.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
No.
Onomatopoeia.
That's not even close.
That's not what that word means.
Thanks, everybody, for joining us here on the Royalman Report. Hopefully
Thank
you
God
join
this
us
is
again
over.
next week.
We're so sorry.
Again, we're going to have the batting stance guy and another guest. Go to kingsofcoffin.com. Read everything that we put up out there. We've got 12 guys that join me, putting out great content.
Dear Lord, you guys got enough writers. Good grief.
We do. We've got plenty.
Damn.
And always check out Royalman Report. Check out ramblingmorons.com. Check out Stitcher Radio and iTunes for every show, and then we're also on YouTube. Thanks for listening. Enjoy the Grammys, and stay out of the cold. Good night, and go Royals.
What you trying to be yourself for?
This is the Echo Network.